Hi everyone. The book that I'm going to talk about today it's called Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. It's this one. The summary of the book is that Anne was adopted by Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert, who are siblings. Matthew is about 60 years old, and since he's getting too old to take care of their ancestral farm, Green Gables, Marilla and Matthew decide to adopt an orphan boy so he can help Matthew. When Matthew arrives to the train station to pick up the boy that they adopted, he ends up finding a girl, which is Anne Shirley. Anne is a very talkative and is able to charm Matthew immediately. When they arrive to Green Gables, Amarilla is very surprised, and of course she wants to send Anne back. But because Matthew wants to keep her, Marilla decides to give Anne a chance. And later on, they decide to keep her. Anne had a very rough childhood, but despite that, Anne is a very talkative and happy girl at first and was struggling to adapt to life in Avonlea and often finds herself in conflict with Marilla and other local women because she has trouble acting like a proper lady. And one of the reasons why she's not considered a proper lady is because she yelled at Mrs. Rachel because she was making fun of Anne's red hair. Anne is very well known for her amazing imagination, melodrama, and romanticism. She's often making stories and scenarios before Anne arrived to Green Gables and had imaginary friends since the orphanage since no one wanted to be her friend at the orphanage. But when Anne arrived to Green Gables, she becomes friends with her neighbor Diana and begins to attend school in Avonlea. One day, Anne invited Diana to her house, but instead of giving her raspberry juice, she accidentally gave Diana wine, so they both got drunk. And Diana's mom refused to let the girls see each other again. However, Anne soon redeems herself by saving Diana's sister's life. Anne also has conflict with some of her classmates. One of them is Gilbert Blythe, because when they first met, Gilbert called her Carrots because of the color of her hair, which made Anne mad, and she slapped Gilbert with her board. They are both the smartest students at school, so they are constantly fighting to be the best student. Since both of them are very smart, they get a place at the prestigious Queen's Academy, so both of them develop a more friendly relationship. While attending the academy, Anne puts excellent effort into her studies, and she ends up getting the Avery Scholarship, which awards her money to fund her tuition for a 4-year college. On the other hand, Matthew, her adopted dad, dies of a heart attack, and Marilla is losing her eyesight and is very much likely to go blind. So instead of attending a 4-year college and earning her degree, Anne chooses to remain at Green Gables and help Marilla manage the farm. After Gilbert heard of Anne's situation, Gilbert sacrificed his job as a teacher at the Avonlea school, so Anne may teach there while remaining close to Marilla and to Green Gables. Anne and Gilbert become really close friends, and Anne looks forward to her future, despite the obstacles she has had and will have to overcome. For the visuals, there are none except for the cover page, as you can see. We can see Green Gables is back here, and we can also kind of see Matthew and Marilla, they're right here. And as you guys can see, Anne seems like a very happy girl, and here is her red hair, which she doesn't like. The genre of this book would be fiction because these events didn't take place in real life, but some of the things that happen throughout the story can happen to anyone. This book has comedy, romance, and realism. It is also considered a children's literature book, and there are 8 book since it's a novel. The quote that I like the most would be, "But really, Marilla, one can stay sad very long in such an interesting war. Can one?" I really like this quote because it shows that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't matter how hard a situation be be to always have hope that it will get better, and that at the end of the day those situations are just lessons that you have had to learn to have a better life. And also that we live in a world full of opportunities and new beginnings. Moving on, the strengths and weakness of the book. Some of the strengths that the book has are that part of growing up is about making mistakes, and that's okay. It also teaches that your imagination is your most valuable possession. It also shows how important it is to stand up for yourself. And it also teaches to have the things that make you unique. For example, that it's okay to have the things that make you unique. For example, Anne used to hate her hair color, but later on she learns that everyone is unique and that's what makes them special. Another strength that this book has is that it has page numbers. The page numbers are right here at the top. And the only weakness that this book has is that the book was meant for children that are 8 years old or older, but I think that this book should be for 8th graders. The book is pretty long, and it does give a small reference of sex. The book is probably too heavy for young children, but older ones should be able to handle the content just fine. And lastly, Anne of Green Gables can be used in a classroom setting by reading the whole book and asking kids questions of what is happening throughout the story. We can also watch the movie after reading the books. I can also tell the kids to watch for feelings, ideas, or needs that an experience that children today might also experience, and how they might react similarly or differently from it. Thank you.